Hello everyone, welcome to the Corner Library on Sunday the 22nd of June. I'm filming this now, as always, so that I can upload it for you for tomorrow, which is Monday the 23rd of June. So hello on your Monday. Last night actually, there was a really big frost, but the morning has been absolutely glorious. So I must tell you a little secret. Normally on a Sunday, I get everything ready and I prepare myself to film the book recommendations as quickly as possible. And then I upload and then oftentimes then I will have the afternoon to go to the shops or do something with the animals here in the afternoon and prepare for the week ahead. But the day was absolutely beautiful, and we had an issue actually with one of our chickens. We have a chicken a hen who she's around about 11 years old, and we think that she's becoming a little blind. And unfortunately yesterday, we don't know who, but somebody in the chicken pen attacked her badly on her head. She has a hole on the top of her head. So I brought her into the house last night in a large dog crate and kept her warm. And what I did this morning is I took her outside. We've just sort of fenced off a little area for her and her daughter, or her stepdaughter, one of the chicks she has raised, and she's very close to her. So this morning I went outside. It's beautiful sunshine, and so I've put her under a tree, a little bit of shade, a little bit of sunshine, an area where she can scratch around and just feel safe. And there's greenery, there's grass and all that sort of thing. So, and we've given her water and food, extra food. But I was doing that this morning, and then I became a little carried away, and I started doing the garden. Hence I have had a shower, but the fingers are rough and ready, I can tell you. So I couldn't help myself, and then I thought, oh my goodness, I have to come in here and get ready to film today so that I can upload it for you tomorrow. So I apologise. Not that any of you hopefully will realise. It doesn't make too much difference, but for me it does, because then I can then get on with the day. And if anything goes wrong with the internet, at least then I have the whole day to try and work things out, and the whole day and night to upload the video. But I'm running well behind schedule. But that doesn't matter, everyone. We will get ourselves organised. So, spectacles on. A couple of things today. I'm very excited. Now, if you have been watching the Australian Book Travels, where I once had the book recommendations on the same day, on a Monday, and of course now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I have now split the channel or made a new channel. So this is a new channel, the Corner Library, and the old channel, Australian Book Travels, is now just for travelling and relaxation. But anyway, if you were watching that at any time, and I think I may have mentioned it on this channel in the first one or two episodes, but when I was younger, I read Jane Austen, fell in love with her writing, and just her wit and the beautiful prose, the plots, her jab at society, at the requirement of women to marry and so forth. So I fell in love with her. And when I left my HSC, higher school certificate here in Victoria, we had a valedictory award, and we were allowed to choose a book. And I chose Jane Austen, a treasury of hers, of 4 novels: Pride and Prejudice, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, and Emma. And I informed you on Australian Book Travels and this channel, I think, that I was really worried that I had either lost the book or that it had been stolen, mainly because we have moved a number of times and there were a couple of questionable instances that we had that I was really worried we'd had a few things taken. So the other day I went down to the cottage. I knew that there were quite a few boxes there that we had unpacked, but that we had repacked just to keep everything safe and whilst we were doing things in this house. And everyone, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I have to be honest, when I came across the one box of goodies that I was sure did not house my novel, my novels of Jane Austen, I have to admit I did shed a tear. This is it. I found it and I hugged it tight and there were a few tears. This is my valedictory award. I absolutely treasure. This has been around Australia with me wherever I have lived. I've lived in Queensland, Victoria and Tasmania. I have travelled around. It has always come with me and I was so distressed to think that, well, this is now quite a few years old, I can assure you. I'm well into middle age and in fact, I think I'm senior, but let's not discuss that. And so this is many years old and I have treasured it. You can see I have kept it in almost pristine condition. The end papers, I won't show you those. I won't show you the name. But the end papers are marbled. They're absolutely beautiful. And the pages are sprayed gold. I am so happy I found this, everyone. And I just wanted to let you know that I have found it and how fitting that it is. I found it in her 250th birthday celebrations. I'm so happy. Honestly, my heart, I was so joyful. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to let you all know that. It's absolutely beautiful and I remember spending many, many, many nights reading from this very book and again falling in love because I had read Jane Austen before I was given this, but I fell in love with her all over again and yeah, it holds many, many happy memories. So I'm so happy. Okay, let's get on to it because I have a funny feeling this camera is actually going to, the battery is quite low on it. My fault, but anyway, let's get on. Now, last week I recommended, or I think I just said to you that I was partway through Susie Dent's Guilty by Definition and that I was enjoying it. I was enjoying it for a number of reasons. It was expanding my vocabulary and my understanding of certain words that I knew, but that it was extending my historical knowledge of those words and the origins of them. And I was really excited. And the story began quite intriguing, not unusual. It's about a missing sister, but I was interested in it. Now, I have since finished it. I finished it earlier, I think a day or so after filming last week. And I have to say a couple of things. Susie Dent is on British television, and I have seen her many, many times. As a public image, she seems really humble and a really lovely person. And I think, from what I understand, that is what she is like in real life. So I was a little disappointed when, and look, this may not have been her intent. In fact, I'm probably 90% sure that it's not her intent. But as I was getting deeper and deeper into the novel, it really felt quite pretentious. It was a constant barrage of telling the reader what the words meant, what their origins were, and that became quite draining and quite a drag on the actual storyline. Now, it's Obviously not Susie, well, I would suggest it's not Susie's intent, but that is definitely, for me, how it came across. It became rather pretentious, and I really started not to enjoy it as much. The storyline was, it became at the end, I felt disappointed. I wasn't as enamored with it as I thought. It is a good read. It's a decent story. There is swearing in it, by the way, but I personally became disappointed. I wasn't as enamored with it as I was in the beginning. It became really ho-hum. Here we go again. There's another word that she's throwing at the reader to really, quite pretentious and well, it felt for me anyway, and quite almost as though the reader is not as intelligent as what we are. I think it was, I have to say I didn't enjoy it as much as what I thought I was going to, but that's a shame. But do tell me what you think. If you have read it, let me know. I know one of you have already contacted me and said that you didn't think it was, you weren't impressed with it. But if you have read it, let me know, because, I was disappointed in the end, I have to be honest. Okay, just a couple more. We're on a time limit here. Not really, but I don't want to keep you too much. 100 years since Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf was written, and I think it was written in June actually. It was definitely released later, but I think it was written in June. But it is set in June. It's set on a Wednesday in June. And has that famous line, Mrs. Dalloway said she would buy the flowers herself. From there, if any of you have read it, you will know this is, well, I hope you think the same way as me. It is an absolute classic. It is the most beautifully written, beautiful story. For those of you who have not read it, I recommend you do. It is set on one day. Mrs. Dalloway is having a party, I think it's in 1925. So after it's 100 years. So of course, 1925. It's after the First World War. And Mrs. Dalloway goes on a walk to buy her flowers for her party through London. In amongst that, her path does cross with a war veteran who, Septimus, his name is Septimus, and he has issues. He is clearly suffering from what they used to call shell shock. We would now call quite damaging PTSD. There is so much to say about this. It is absolutely beautiful. It has those the offshoots and the damage that was done by the war to everyone. It has Mrs. Dalloway, and as she's on her walk, as most of us do, you're thinking about other things. You're thinking about perhaps past life, or your past. You're thinking about friends and family, and she does that in this. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It is only a few hundred pages. Let me get this. Now, has been released or published and republished by all sorts of publishers. How many pages? It's 169 pages. So not that many pages. It's a beautiful read for June. It's summer in England, of course. But I don't care where you are in the world. Do yourself a favour and read this. It is beautiful. It's a classic. It will always be a classic. And it has so much to say about London, about the war, about family and friends, sliding door moments, things that should have happened that didn't happen, that may not possibly. It's good that they didn't happen. All those sorts of thoughts and premises of life. Absolutely beautiful. and I recommend it. And it is the 100th year. So if you're interested to read it, if you haven't already, or if you haven't read it for a while, I would suggest that you reread it. It is the 100th year. And I'm fairly sure, well, it's certainly set in June, but I'm fairly sure it may have been written in June of the previous year as well. Anyway, I could be wrong on that, but definitely a good read. Now, a few weeks ago, I let you all know that Echo Publishing had sent me Dr. Deborah Dank's Terra Glossia. Dr. Deborah Danks is an Aboriginal woman. She is an academic and a writer. She has written her memoir. I think it's it might have it on the back here. Oh, We Come to This Place. That is her memoir. I read this. It is absolutely brilliant. It is researched through European papers and Aboriginal history, Aboriginal word of mouth through families. This is a must read. It's absolutely brilliant. It starts off with Lieutenant James Cook coming to I think it was on the east coast in New South Wales, from memory. I did read this a couple of weeks ago, everyone. But I think it was. I know that there's a bit of controversy with who came here first. I know the Dutch and the French and all of that. But it was Lieutenant James Cook for Queen Victoria. No, not Queen Victoria. Not at all. Wasn't it George the... I think he came out here in George the Third's time. Would that be right? Let me just check that. I'll put it in the subtitles below. That's a bit poor of me not to remember that, isn't it? But anyway, so, and of course, James Cook was a lieutenant at that time too. He wasn't a captain. This is a must-read. If you're wanting to know about the history through the British eyes, through the British written word, which, by the way, can be found in archives in Canberra and in the library, the State Library of New South Wales, the fact that the English hunted Aboriginals, absolutely slaughtered them. They were not allowed to use their own language, and yet they had been doing that for around about 60,000 years. This is a must read. It's not that long. It's by Echo Publishing, and I must say the end papers are absolutely beautiful. It is hardcover, by the way. May have that Aboriginal painting through it, but from memory, it was only a couple of hundred. Yeah, it's only 120 odd pages. It is, but it seems to be really jam packed. The text is quite small, so it's a decent read actually, but absolutely beautiful. And if you don't know about Aboriginal history, this is definitely the place to begin. Beautiful. Okay, the last one for today. Another one from Echo Publishing that I showed you a few weeks ago that they sent me. This is The Wrong Daughter by Dandy Smith. English story, English author. This is absolutely fantastic. It is a story, we sort of go back in time where there are two sisters, they're young, one of the sisters goes missing throughout the night, and to emerge many years later, or does she? It's brilliant. It's brilliantly written. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Beautifully written, great story, keeps you guessing. I loved it. So that's The Wrong Daughter by Dandy Smith. This is Echo Publishing, so you can get it here in Australia by the Australian publisher. And how many was this? This was about, it was minus the acknowledgements, 353 pages. So a decent read. This is a must read. I recommend it. And this too, everyone. Terra Glossia by Dr. Deborah Dank, absolutely brilliant. It's definitely staying on my shelf. Beautifully presented as well. Of course, Mrs. Dalloway, any publication, you can buy them in any edition published by most publishers. This is definitely Virginia Woolf's, I think, for me, it's one of my favourites of Virginia Woolf's. It's absolutely beautiful, and I recommend it if you haven't already. This edition is, what edition is this, everyone? This is Union Square and Co. in New York. This was published, was first published in 2025, we know that. This is the 2023 edition. I think I bought this, I bought it in 2023, actually. Yes, I think I did. Yeah. This is the Signature Classics. Absolutely beautiful. Susie Dent's, look, it was okay. It became quite heavy on the wording. It was very wordy. I just felt it was a little bit pretentious, or it came across that way, and became quite heavy on the wordy. I wasn't enamoured with it by the end. As well, actually halfway through I sort of lost a bit of interest, to be honest. But I read it and finished it. And then I found my own Jane Austen. I will keep this. I think I'm going to be buried with this. That's the honest truth. I think I'm going to have it buried with me. It's absolutely beautiful. There is also one of Charles Dickens' Great Expectations that I think I want buried with me as well. It's absolutely beautiful. It is, Great Expectations is actually it is my favourite novel. Yeah, I have to say, if I'm going to choose any, it would have to be Great Expectations. And then probably, I love all of Jane Austen's, but let me think. The Watsons, Lady Susan, Sanditon, I really enjoy those, although they're not finished, but the Watsons and Sanditon was not finished, but they were still really good. I think Northanger Abbey is actually my favourite. It's darker, but it still has a lot to say. It's brilliant. But I love Pride and Prejudice, love Persuasion. Initially didn't like Emma, but when I reread Emma, I understood it a lot more. So I encourage you all to read her in this 250th year of her birth. There are lots of things. That's the other thing I wanted to tell you all. Two of you wonderful viewers and subscribers reminded me. There is a French movie that is released at the moment, and it's called Jane Austen Wrecked My Life. I'm going to see that in another week, I think it is. I'm excited, I can't wait. It's a French movie. It's I think only the beginning of it is in French and then the rest is in English. And I don't care if it's in French, that's fine. I can understand it anyway, so that's fine. But I think it is actually, most of it is in English. I think it's only the beginning when the protagonist begins in France, and she is French. So I'm looking forward to that, very excited. And I know I have been watching quite a few things on England, as I always do, but I have been watching quite a few things where there are so many beautiful, beautiful, beautiful celebrations of Jane Austen in England. In Bath, where she spent time, where she had a love and then a not so love relationship with Bath. And in Chawton, which was where she lived, and in Winchester, the property where she actually died in Winchester, she spent the last few weeks of her life with her sister Cassandra. That has been opened. I think it's never been opened before. It is now open with, I think, some artifacts from Jane Austen, from Jane Austen's life. And I think it is only open for a limited time. I don't think it's a permanent museum. So I'm very sad that I won't get to see that. But you never know. It may just be that it's only open for a certain time of the year. But I know this is the first year it's been open. So I would love to go and see it. But anyway, we can't all have what we want, can we? So yeah, so there's that. So if you're interested in Jane Austen at all, or her writings, there is a lot of. I think you can get some on BritBox, and there's also a few places on YouTube where you can visit Chawton House, and there is actually a lovely walk from Chawton to the next town, which is it Orton or Anton? I'll let you know in the description. In the text below. But there's a lovely walk from Chawton, where Jane Austen lived for a good 6 years of her life, and she was very, very happy there, and she wrote a lot of her novels there. And then where she used to walk into the next town with her sister and her mother, go visiting friends and family, and also she used to go shopping there. So there are quite a few beautiful things that you can see to celebrate Jane Austen's life this year. I think that's it, everyone. Ellie's doing really well. She's doing really well. She's getting quite a bit of attention. The chicken is doing well. We hope she seems to be really happy this morning. Before I started filming, I went out to see her and her stepdaughter, and they seemed much happier. I think they were actually being badgered by the others in the pen, which means we may have to build another pen specifically for her and her daughter, and maybe a couple of the other sort of quieter chickens, so that they can have their own peaceful residence. Well, that's it. It's a beautiful day, whatever is left of the day now. I think once I have uploaded this for you, I think I will go out and do a little bit of perhaps gardening or something like that. It is blue sky. It's cold. It is cold, but it's blue sky. So, and there's just a lovely slight breeze. So that's nice. Okay, everyone, don't forget, please do share the channel with anyone you think may be interested in listening to an Australian old lady prattle on about books. I would appreciate that. We want to get this channel out there because we do try to promote a lot of Australian authors and Australian stories. Of course, I talk about all books. I read a whole range of books and love reading, but we do try to concentrate where possible on Australian stories and Australian authors. So please do share. If you haven't subscribed, it is for free, so please subscribe. Just press that button, and then it helps us. Ultimately, it will help us, and also it notifies you then when we have, I think you have to press the little bell. I haven't added that on here. I don't have the facilities yet to actually add the bell and the subscription button on here. But if you go to the little round photo that has the books all on it, it'll be at the end of this video. If you click into the channel, you can then subscribe. It's easy, it's free, and please comment. We love reading your comments, and as most of you know, we do try and get back to you within 48 hours. Sometimes it is longer than that because we have other things that we're doing, but I do try and get to you within 48 hours. Sometimes it has been a week before I've been able to get back to any of you, and I do apologise, but I do my best in responding to everyone. I don't think that I've missed any yet, but anyway, I know that I will have to respond to a few of you that from the last week, so I will do that today as well. Yes, so please like, share, subscribe, and definitely comment. We really enjoy reading and responding. The other thing is, if you want to know a little bit about Australia, Australian country towns, there's a little bit of history. We take you to towns. Sometimes we do a walkabout. Sometimes we just show you the beautiful buildings and we give you a little bit of history. We also show you sometimes the surrounds. And yeah, we hope that that makes it interesting for you. If you're interested in Australia or Australian country towns, definitely log on to Australian Book Travels. Okay, everyone, I think that's it for now. If I've missed anything, I will try and jot it down for next week and let you know. Take care, happy reading, enjoy the week, everyone, and look after yourselves. Bye for now.